Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Do you want some coffee, Mr. Dolly?
Do I? Yes, have some.
Yes, have some.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. It is Monday night, and we are here with you. And I'm not going to lie, last week's episode has been very controversial, although we've been putting on... Listen, I was laughing to myself. Last week, we did what we thought were the worst sequels of all time. And then we somehow started talking about Terminator 2, which I think fits into tonight's category.
For sure.
I think this clip of Jacob's take on Terminator 1 generated more. I think there's over 100 comments on TikTok. There's like 60 comments on Instagram.
I'm so sorry to hurt everybody's feelings.
Have you had to lock your doors?
Truth.
Are you okay?
None of those people who are angry commenting have watched Terminator 1 in 10 years. Hey,
also they're just helping our engagement, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That's partly why
thank you,
I said
Jacob.
It. Hey, we forgot a movie last week that I feel like I'm pretty sure we didn't talk about, but I feel like I have to bring it up this week because
For the worst sequels?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do it now?
Yeah, just get it out of the way.
Okay.
Cool.
All of the Matrix movie sequels.
Oh, right. Yeah.
How did we not talk about that newest Matrix movie? It's so bad.
What's that one called?
I don't know. Revelations? I don't know.
There's Revolution, Revelation, Reloaded, Renaissance Festival. That's the one I want to watch. Yeah, all those movies.
Those are all bad.
Well, when the second Matrix came out, when Matrix Reloaded came out, I convinced myself it was actually like high art. Like, you guys just don't get it like I do. When's the last time I watched it? It kind of sucks. The movie.
I watched all three of the original Matrix movies back to back for the first time. Like, I didn't see. They were all three out before I watched the first one. Okay, and I watched all three of them back to back, and
so you didn't see the first Matrix in theaters?
No.
Oh, interesting. Abby, did you see that in theater?
No, I caught it later. We rented it from Blockbuster as a family. At the time, it was like R-rated movies. Like it was like we need to let's test and make sure this is family friendly, and it was deemed so we watched it.
But Matrix is kind of like Christian coded. It kind of has like that. Yeah. Like Neo is the savior kind of thing.
Many a youth pastor has done the analogy with Neo being like Christ. And I've actually
finally something cool we can like.
Guys, it's something cool. Yeah, exactly. But
if I was in a youth group and they were talking about that, I'd be like, oh yeah, well, can he fly? Could Jesus fly? Because if he can, I'm in.
Can Jesus bend backwards? Do that.
Stop bullets. Well,
yeah.
Maybe, I guess, if
okay. Yeah. Okay. Welcome everybody to the show.
They couldn't stop nails. So.
I knew it was. I felt it coming. I felt it coming.
Hey, okay. So did he.
A blasphemous take, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Yes Have Some podcast. My name is Craig Goldberg. Joining me as always are my co-host, Jacob Walsh.
Mm-hmm.
Who doesn't like the Matrix? If you're keeping tabs,
the first Matrix is great.
Right. The other,
I think the first one's good. The rest are bad.
There you go. Abigail, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. It's getting hot out here, but life's pretty good. I've got movies and good things. Finished reading a book yesterday, so yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
What book?
Maybe it wouldn't be so hot if you'd stop blaspheming.
Oh my god, it smells like sulfur. You're right. No, I will continue to blaspheme because it's my right to do so, and I enjoy it. But yeah, it's hot.
What book was it?
I read The First in the King Killer Chronicles by I'm gonna forget his name now. The book's called The Name of the Wind. It's Richard or Robert Dreyfuss. Or I could.
It's not Richard.
It's definitely not Richard Dreyfuss.
It's not. Hold on one second. The Name of the Wind.
Richard Dreyfuss wrote The Name of the Wind.
It's by Richard Dreyfuss.
Is it about civics?
It is civics. Patrick Rothfuss. Sorry, y'all. Okay. Sorry, Patrick. I loved your book. I'm gonna read the second one. It's just good stuff. If you like Lord of the Rings at all, monsters and magic,
Mm-hmm.
and even like a good coming of age tale, like Harry Potter style. It's kind of like that, but like much harder, like R-rated with really cool stuff. And I was inspired by it. I loved it. So yeah, check it out.
You finished it yesterday?
Yeah, I finished listening to it yesterday. I was doing some gardening while I listened to the end of the book because I feel like I wanted to like kind of remember that moment. And I had been sort of stashing it and like saving the last 2 hours, knowing that it was going to end. Because I enjoy reading or listening so much.
Abby, did you see there is a third book that is supposedly going to happen in that series, but it's been like rumored for 10 years. I don't know if he wrote it or stopped reading it, but it's a trilogy at some point, but there's only 2 that are out. It's a real what is it, George R.R. Martin, who I recently heard he's just decided to not even
giving up. Yeah,
Game of Thrones,
which I think is so funny.
Yeah, he's like, I saw the HBO finale. I kind of hate it now.
Yeah,
he hates his own thing.
Hey, congratulations on finishing a book, because I know that feels good.
I
also finished a book yesterday because one of the podcasts I listened to a podcast called Reading Glasses, and they do like 4 times a year. They do they pick a day and they do a readathon, and they like check in on like Instagram Live throughout the day and ask people like what they're reading, like what they're doing, what kind of breaks they're taking, and they have a Slack and a Discord, and they just have stuff going, and they are just like, just read all day, just like
that rule.
Do whatever you can to read. So I was listening to an audiobook that I sat down and I was like, all right, let me participate, and I finished the book. So yeah,
that's awesome motivation. I like that like community feeling of everyone doing it together. It's very cool because you kind of feel, at least I feel when I finish a book, I'm like, I want to reach out to somebody and talk to them about it.
Yeah.
This was the book I just read was recommended by our friend Julia, so I talked to her over the last couple of days, just like, what do you think?
What book did you finish?
I was reading a book called Of Orcas and Men. It's a nonfiction book about killer whales.
All right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about if we did a YHS readathon and everybody was doing their check-ins, they'd be like, I'm reading Slimer Comics number 13.
I have that
everyone or just you?
That's me. I'd be like, reading Making Ghostbusters. Hey, I don't have Making Ghostbusters. Do you have that one? That's a rare one, Jake. You said you had a lot of Ghostbusters books.
I don't have Making Ghostbusters. That's one I don't have. But you know what? I was looking through my Ghostbusters books yesterday, and I have both of the Draw Slimer contest comic books, and it made me think maybe we need to. Didn't we say we were going to make our Draw Slimer contest like a yearly thing? That was like 2 years ago.
Let's bring it back.
We should maybe do a Draw Slimer contest soon.
But this time we're going to up the ante. It has to be street art graffiti now in a public place that doesn't allow it.
Has to be tattoos.
It has to be tattoos.
Yes, on your flesh.
Yeah, the Draw Slimer contest was really funny. A lot of people say that Slimer wasn't even that popular of a character till I put pen to paper and drew him. In Slimer.
Is that what they say?
That's what they've been saying.
Say the greatest Slimer was that which was lined.
It has lines. I've talked about it so many times, but I'll never let it go. And some would say it is my greatest achievement, and I wouldn't argue. So yes, I was featured in the Draw Slimer contest. Jacob, I'm surprised you did not enter that as a kid. Maybe you didn't know about it.
I definitely was getting those comics. What I could tell you is that I don't remember. I probably didn't, but if I did draw a Slimer, there's zero chance my mom actually put it in the mail.
Right. Right.
She's like, yeah, I sent it.
Yeah, I sent it. And then you look at all the bad Slimers that made it in there, and you're like, oh, did you, Mom?
Yeah.
Because they're printing literal trash over here. So well, listen, last week's episode was fun. By the way, thank you guys for those joining us live. We appreciate it every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube. If you're listening to it after the fact or watching it after the fact, make sure that you subscribe, hit the notifications. However you get this, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, we appreciate you tuning in every week. May is almost over, which is crazy. Ghostbusters Day is coming up. I'm not going to harp on it too much. We'll have more on that in the coming weeks, but we will be in New York for Ghostbusters Day for the big event at the Firehouse put on by the Buffalo Ghostbusters. They don't put the Firehouse onto the Buffalo Ghostbusters, but the Buffalo Ghostbusters put on the big event. They've been doing it for 5 years, and this is gonna be our first time. There's gonna be hundreds. I think there was 800 people last year. So just 800 Ghostbusters fans wearing flight suits. I'm not wearing a suit. I can't. It's gonna be hot. It is gonna be hot.
I'm going to 5 Points Fest.
What?
What's that?
What's that?
It's a toy show that's happening in New York. It's
In New
every
York?
year, and it's happening the same weekend.
We'll probably go to that too.
I'll be, like,
We're in
I'll
New
be
York.
right back, guys.
Be back. But they did announce that Hasbro is going to be there with some Ghostbusters reveals. We will be covering it on the channel. So make sure that you subscribed, tuned in all of our social media and all of that. And yeah, it'll be fun. I've always said 41 is the big anniversary for any franchise. Like anybody could get to 40, but to get to 41, this is huge. I'm 41. I'm always sharing an anniversary with Ghostbusters. So
almost 42, the all important number.
Next year will be really big. So Abby, anything else going on with you in your life this week before we move on?
Nah, I'm just, keeping on with the pumpkin tub and adding water every day. I added some Garfield decorations to it yesterday, like some strips from an old book cover, like adhesive book covers.
Oh, yeah.
So I cut those out and put them on, and I like it. And yeah, beyond that, just living life and I just wish I could go see more movies at the movie theater.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Well, we can. But remember,
I was going to say, what is there something stopping you?
What's stopping us? Well,
nothing. Literally nothing. But
literally nothing.
But do you remember during COVID whether you'd be like, man, it'd be cool to go to GameStop, but that doesn't exist anymore.
Let's get that COVID gratitude going.
I do want some COVID gratitude. I've actually been having some reminiscing back to, like, I remember the first time. Well, Jacob, we're kind of where you live. You guys were only closed down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, a couple weeks.
But I remember in Atlanta, like it was a while, and I remember like being like, "Oh my God, we're going into a Walmart. This is crazy."
Yeah. We could, if you want, we could, since we're going to New York in a couple weeks, we could bring our vaccination cards and just show them to everybody. Even though they're like, they'll be like, we don't really do that anymore. We're like, I'd still like you to check it out, please.
I would still like to verify that I've.
It keeps me grounded.
So okay, well, guys, let's get into it. So last week we covered our least favorite sequels. We there's a lot. And we're not trying to be deliberately hard on any given movie or actor or director, but I just think it's really hard to follow up a great movie. So when a really good one happens, it feels kind of special. I'll never forget at our the first YHS party before the Afterlife premiere, when I was scolded by Jason Reitman because I hadn't seen Blade Runner 2049.
Hey, can I tell you a secret? It's not really a secret, but I've been sitting here like, I need to watch Blade Runner 2 before we talk to Jason again. And I remember at the time, the reason I hadn't seen Blade Runner 2 yet is because I haven't seen the first Blade Runner in a long time.
Okay.
And I wanted to rewatch it, but it's just like, I got to get in the mood to watch 2 Blade Runner movies. And there's like 10 different versions of Blade Runner. Which one do I watch? It's not streaming for free anywhere. I check often. Blade Runner 2 is on my watch list on Letterboxd because I do want to watch both movies. But I think about that and Jason's reaction when he found out none of us had seen Blade Runner 2 yet.
Yeah.
I think about it more than I should.
Well, I still haven't seen it. Spoiler alert. So
let's watch it tonight. Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like such an investment. It's just, there's so much cyberpunk. I don't know if I can handle it. We've been rewatching The Office, and that's just so fun and easy and light.
What a rewarding show.
Okay, let's get into it. Abby, well, let's start here. What are the ingredients that make a great sequel? Like, is there a special sauce? There's a lot of high profile directors who listen to this show. We need to help them out.
I think that for a sequel to fall into my list of like greatest sequels ever, I think it needs to in some way outshine the original, whether it's through new characters or like a different type of story exploration that goes on. I think not copying the exact template of the first movie and doing something different is integral. Yeah, and I think that the movies that I chose are ones that I love them as they are, like without the prior two films. Like that they just stand out to me as being really good movies.
Okay. All right. Jacob, what about you? Is there anything that you're finding to be like a similar pattern for these movies?
Yeah, I mean, usually it's basically what Abby said. It's usually trying to just be very different. I will say, like, we all three love Ghostbusters 2. It's like one of my favorite movies of all time. It is like it is a copy of Ghostbusters 1.
A lot of similarities.
Ghostbusters 2 probably doesn't really outshine Ghostbusters 1 in any kind of way. I think we all just love it because we have a really big nostalgia for it. But most of the movies on my list are just like what Abby said. They're just so different.
Right. Right. I got a bunch on my list. I mean, listen, there's not going to be a whole lot of surprises here. I think a lot of people.
I wore my Critters 2 shirt because it is one of my favorite. Critters 2 is like one of my favorite dumb, fun movies of all time, and it is the best Critters movie. It's so much better than the first one. Sorry,
I love
D.
that you
Wallace.
did that. Sorry, D, for everything that we've ever said about you.
No.
No, we actually stand behind it. I'm wearing a Hawaiian style shirt because of one of my favorite sequels.
Ooh,
which may or may not have already been mentioned in the chat.
Oh,
nice.
No,
wait, I don't know what that shirt is. Well, I'm trying to see what the shirt is.
Oh, it's got Slimer on it. But he's not lined.
I mean,
it's like
so it's
a non-traditional, non-lined
guys,
Slimer.
listen, I wouldn't call that Slimer. Like, I can draw a Slimer.
Shut up.
Like
all right, Jacob.
Slimer.
Yeah,
Jacob, kick us off. What is your first movie?
My list here, I didn't really like put them in any kind of particular order, and I also just threw a bunch of like maybe honorable mentions, but I will get it over with. I will get it just like out of the way because we talked about it a little bit last week, but I just think one of the best sequels of all time is The Exorcist 3.
Right.
It is so good.
I got to watch that.
The second Exorcist movie is really bad, but the third one is also based on a book written by William Peter Blatty, same guy who wrote the first one. And it is very different. You know, there's no Reagan. It's not like the story is very, very different. But it does have like a couple characters from the first movie, and it's excellent. It is so good. It's terrifying. Brad Dourif is in it, and it's probably like his best role. He's amazing in it. So
cool.
Exorcist 3.
I'm gonna put that. I really want to watch Exorcist 3. And by the way, we're in the second half of the year almost, which means it's the official countdown to Halloween season.
Yeah,
so
we're getting there.
I could watch these movies.
Yeah.
All right. So Abby, what's the you kick us off?
Sure.
Again, well, Jake kicked us off, but another kickoff.
Thank you, Jacob. Now I'll take the ball and punt it again. There's my sports analogy. When I was thinking about this list, I was washing my hair. I was in the shower, and I was like, I'm going to go off of my gut and remember movies that just stand out without looking at a list. Just going with sequels that I know that I have rewatched a lot and that I remember being really impactful on me when I saw them. Excuse me. So if you followed me on Instagram, you know that I loved this movie when it came out. And it came out 10 years ago, which is kind of insane. And the movies that preceded it came out in the 80s, and there were 3 of them. The movie that I chose is Mad Max Fury Road. I loved that movie. I still think of it as like almost like a roller coaster ride, like an extreme sport. It gets my adrenaline pumping. It's got incredible special effects. It has George Miller coming back from a long break and then making something that is groundbreaking and relevant and visceral. Furiosa's story is really incredible, and that stood out to me. And I was surprised that it was more her story that was focused on instead of Tom Hardy's as Mad Max, the titular character. So I thought that was really, really an inspiring movie with just awesome action and amazing color schemes, practical effects, and like just the scope of it is gorgeous. So yeah, I would have to say that that movie stood out to me, and I liked Furiosa. I have watched that, but not nearly as much as Mad Max Fury Road. I'd have to say that Fury Road is like really high up there when it comes to like, this feels like an adrenaline shot and like caffeine, and also just visually stunning, but also there's heart and there's strong characters and there's a femininity to it that's really like muscular and awesome, and I find that inspiring. So that's why I chose it.
Yeah, and it also falls into the category of, wow, this really shouldn't have worked at all. The
odds are against it, right?
I mean, it's like the original movies were so long ago. They're so different. They're kind of like a product of their time. Mel Gibson's, doing Mel Gibson things now. And it feels, and I remember seeing the previews and the previews. God, I sound like my mom. Well, I saw the previews. I remember seeing the first trailer and being like, well, this, it's a good trailer. This looks really intense and fun, but I just still don't see this working. And then, I love that movie. That movie's awesome.
What's weird is like, you could, before Fury Road came out, you could say the same thing about, like you could put what's the name of the other movie? The Road Warrior.
Road Warrior, yeah.
Because that is the movie. Road Warrior is part 2. But Road Warrior is the movie that, like, the first Mad Max movie is not like the other Mad Max movies. Like, it's still just like, it's like right at the beginning of the apocalypse, so it's not so crazy. Road Warrior is the one that everybody thinks of when they think of. So, like, that movie could be on the sequel list. And I put a different Mad Max movie on my list because I think Furiosa is better than the one
Fury Road. Are we gonna have like a Mad Max off?
I have watched Furiosa a ton. It is very good. I think it's better. I think that one's amazing too. But Furiosa's better. That's all.
Hell yeah.
I think it's a really cool take, and I bet our listeners will be surprised at that take.
At me thinking Furiosa's better.
Yeah, I think
so. I don't know, man. Furiosa has like, there's something about getting a villain that is very charismatic, and he talks like William Shakespeare in Furiosa. I mean, literally, like the last 20 minutes of Furiosa is this really crazy thing where all the action stops and Furiosa and fucking Chris Hemsworth's villain have this fucking Macbeth-like exchange back and forth, and it like everything stops and they're just talking to each other, and it literally sounds like a Shakespeare play. It feels like I'm watching a play, and I was like blown away by that, because those movies are a lot of no talking and exactly. There are a lot of like big flashy stuff and no talking, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Fuck that! I can write too,"
Right?
And I love it. So yeah,
very cool.
Yeah. They're both amazing.
Both good. George Miller slays at sequels. Agreed.
He's great.
There you go. All right, so listen, we'll Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm just going to table Terminator till later. Like, we all know, I'm sick of talking about Terminator. It's good. It's fucking
last week.
Terminator 2 rules. T-1000, like, saw it. My dad took me and my brother to see Terminator 2 in theaters. I was 7. My brother was 4. We probably shouldn't have been there. And it was just such like a momentous moment in my life, my like movie going life. It made such an impact on me. But let's have some fun and talk about some other stuff. I got a bunch on my list. And I know I'm not going to be able to go super deep on all of these, but there's one I really want to get off my chest right now. And this is a movie that's one of my all-time favorites. I don't think it's better than the original, but I have such a deep, deep love for it. And that has grown over time. Liked it as a kid, love it as an adult, and that is Back to the Future 3. I and they fucking laugh at me. I say
I like
These
the
are
movie.
personal choices. Like, I get it.
I like that movie a lot. It wasn't what I thought you were gonna say.
What did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna actually say another movie that's on my list, so I'm not gonna say it. But
Okay,
still,
all right.
Even saying Back to the Future 3, you have there's a better choice. So.
No. Here's people have to remember. Back to the Future 2 has some incredible stuff in it. It's an amazing movie. It's got some of the most the iconography in Back to the Future 2, the hoverboard, the future, all that stuff. I prefer Back to the Future 3. Always have. It has nothing to
like it too.
It has nothing to do with Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
Other than they were filmed back to back, and you could kind of make an argument that it's all one big long movie, but Back to the Future 3 going back to 1885 is such a departure from like the aesthetic of the rest of the series. I love Doc Brown in part 3. Like this is such a weird. Okay, when I was a kid, I used to get bummed out that majority of the first Back to the Future movie was 1955 Doc Brown, because I kind of liked 1985 Doc Brown a little bit more for whatever. In my kid brain, I was like,
that's so weird. They're identical.
It's pretty much the same. But I like the love story. I think Mary Steenburgen's really good. I love all the Clint Eastwood stuff and all the Mad Dog Tannen stuff, and like all of the just like, it's like clearly not what the Old West was. It's like the movie version of what the Old West is like, and like. But also, like, obviously 2015 and Back to the Future 2 is not what 2015 was like. So it's just kind of like, it's a movie that's always meant a lot to me, but when I remember as a kid, it wasn't my favorite because it's like the Old West horses. But over time, I remember.
Well, the train's amazing.
The train is that whole sequence is really, really cool. And yeah, I just love that.
It's got a great theme song.
Oh, well. It's got ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, yeah.
It's got ZZ Top, and I just love Back to the Future 3. It's gotten some love merchandise-wise the last couple of years. It's got hot toys, there's statues. I just love it, and I even have that costume from Back to the Future 3. Mm-hmm. Marty McFly's going, when he's wearing the whatever that is, the red pants and the. Oh God, I just love it. I just love that movie. So that's the first one on my list.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
There you go. All right, Jacob, what do you got?
I want to go ahead and get this one. This is probably one of my favorite sequels of all time, but I want to say it before Abby does in case it's on her list.
I don't think you have the two that I have. I'm pretty sure.
Did you guys only do 3 each?
I did 3.
I have a list of like 10.
I've got 12.
Oh, nice. Okay. I'm sure I can access and throw some more out.
Okay, Dr. Sleep I put on here because that, first of all, that book's awesome. Stephen King. The Shining is a really, really hard, movie to follow.
Yeah.
They had to do some like really heavy lifting to get the book and the movie to kind of match up to make a sequel. I really like the recasting choices. I know a lot of people a lot of people were weird about the recasting, but I would much rather recast and have an actor that doesn't look or sound identical to the old actor than use CGI or any of that shit.
All right, guys.
Let's calm down.
Let's calm down a little bit. The chat for our audio listeners, somebody, Country Boy Nighter, was like, "Yeah, way better than The Shining." Let's all.
It's not. I'm not saying it's better, but it's very, very different, and I think it adds a lot to The Shining, which is something that that's what you want a sequel to do. You want it to like not step on the toes of the original too much. but maybe add its own thing. That movie is very kind of like off the rails, and there's energy vampires, and there's all kinds of weird shit going on. So that movie's amazing. I love it.
I completely agree with you, and kind of regret that I didn't put that on my list too. Yeah, the book's amazing. We've been to some of the filming locations. We have a video on our channel that you can go and watch where we went and saw some spots. And I mean, it was an incredible book. I remember talking about it with my therapist and using the lockbox metaphor in therapy, and it's just a really awesome book.
Yeah, I've always wanted. I've talked to some people who are huge fans of the movie The Shining, but never read the book and never read Dr. Sleep. I feel like that movie could be a little divisive to people because it's so different than The Shining. But Hugh McGregor's awesome in it. The whole cast is really good. I like it. I actually have revisited it, which is not. I watch a lot of movies one time. It takes something
so weird. That's a weird. That surprises me about you.
But the other thing is, I watch some movies a lot, like way too many times. I need a balance. But yeah, I think Dr. Sleep's awesome. And again, I think it's kind of like Fury Road, Abby, a little bit too. Kind of shouldn't have worked. It's kind of hard to make a sequel to The Shining. And Mike Flanagan knows what he's doing.
Well, I mean, Stephen King laid it all out. He made it very easy for somebody to wrote it.
Yeah, a lot of Stephen King's adaptations are actually really good. People really know how to take that man's words and put them on screen. I think it's really hard to do, and that's why. But that's why when there's a good Stephen King movie, who I shouldn't be talking about this. I've never read a Stephen King book, but I can only imagine how you guys feel when there's a good one. So
well, because it's not as often.
Yeah. But okay, cool. So Abby, you're up next.
Cool. Yeah, the next one I'll go with is an obvious choice, probably. The first film in the franchise was my favorite superhero movie. You can all probably guess at this point. Not too much of a head scratcher. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is on my list as one of the best sequels. I loved the first movie so much. The sequel to Guardians, I remember being really nervous about how James Gunn could continue the story or top it or even recapture that feeling of like the whole group meeting for the first time and that lightning in a bottle, which that's what struck me so much about the first movie was that like being somebody who wants friendship and wants acceptance and like struggles for it. And then finally finding that group. I think that that's the thing about Volume 1 that really got me. And Volume 2, I had really high expectations going into. And I remember seeing like the poster teasers and things dropping for it and like just kind of getting nervous. Like, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. And when I saw the movie, I remember like I became so emotional over Yondu. There's Baby Groot, which is like one of the first baby anything appearances.
So first babies.
It was the first baby. Yeah, Baby the movie, and then Baby Groot. So Baby Groot is a rewatchable part of the movie. I feel like it Volume 2 held up to the first movie and did its own different thing, which is what I was talking about in the beginning of the episode. It doesn't do like we're gonna save the world or save the planet. It's like an internal story about Star-Lord and his father and how his father is like the actual villain in his life, and him dealing with that and like facing off against him is the story, and then realizing that Yondu was the dad that he actually had the whole time. And I think that's a really, really awesome, meaningful story. And yeah, the Yondu funeral at the end is so fucking solid and beautiful. I think it's like an incredible sequel. Like to have something with that much like depth packed into it and still be like funny and have a cute character like Baby Groot and all the fun stuff, but also have like the heart. I really love that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie too. I mean, I like all the Guardians movies. I feel like 3 is harder. 3 is really great, but it's like really emotional. Like to me, Guardians 2, there's still nothing will top the first one, but I think it was a really hard follow up. I like everything that you mentioned. Kurt Russell's really awesome in it. introduction of Mantis, which is cool.
Right.
The Nebula and
Gamora.
Gamora kind of like having that big fight, and then like coming. I don't know. It kind of sets the table for things to come. Really good stuff in there. I know what Jacob thinks of Guardians 2, and I'm going to give him the microphone now.
I don't have anything to say about Guardians 2.
Well, you can go to the archive and hear all of Jacob's thoughts on Guardians of the Galaxy.
I am not gonna say bad things after Abby just talked about how much she loves it. That's
okay.
Mean to do. I think it's a good movie. But I do not completely agree with what you said. But that's it.
There you go. All right. It's all been
Respect.
said. It's all been said. Hey, in general though, Michael Rooker was just on the most recent season of Guardians of the Galaxy. And every time
he was on what?
I'm sorry, Righteous Gemstones. The most recent season of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker, I won't get into details of the plot, but that guy, when he shows up,
he's great.
Mm-hmm.
And Abby met him.
I sure did. I waited on him.
Wait,
it was really
that? Oh, at your job?
Yeah, a while ago.
Oh, shit.
On my old job. Yeah. I called Craig. I was like, Yondu's in my section.
And I was like,
he's getting field peas.
I was like, what?
What are field peas?
Who's Yondu? I was like, oh, Yondu. Yeah. Good shit. Okay, I guess it's my turn. Dude. Ooh, what am I gonna do? All right, I already picked my individual thing. All right, let me talk about. I feel like this one might be on Jacob's list, so maybe I'll bring it up and we'll all talk about it. I think it's taken me a long time to realize it, but I think I actually like this movie more than the original. Mm-hmm. And that is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
This is the movie I thought you were gonna say
earlier
last time.
Yeah, I
thought you were gonna say Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey.
Yeah, I mean, listen. First of all, love Bill and Ted 1. I think Rufus is better in the first movie because he's in it more. Obviously played by the late great George Carlin. But when it comes to the aesthetic, the story, Bill and Ted, it's weird, it's dark, it's kind of scary. They go to hell. You get the devil. They're playing Battleship against Death. Death is one of the great characters in human history. And I know last week we talked about a Bill and Ted movie as well. I think Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, even just the VHS cover, the poster with they're all pressed up against it, like the Wild Stallions Battle of the Bands at the end. God gave rock and roll to you. Want to Kiss is only good songs, maybe. I just love every. By the way, no slander against Kiss. I actually like a lot of Kiss songs, but
no, you're right.
I love Bogus Journey so much. Even like there's little comedic beats in it that you forget about, like the fact that Missy is now with Ted's dad, and like Bill's dad's all depressed at the party, like and the whole opening at the beginning with the Faith No More guy and Rufus's weird futuristic like foam outfit, like I just love it. I love every aspect of that movie.
You didn't even mention the best part about the movie, which is Station.
Love
Station is the fun. I agree. I think Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey is better than the first. I love the first movie too, but Bogus Journey is so good. It is so funny. You Stole Deacon's Easter Basket is I think about that all the time. Yeah, that movie's great.
Evil Robot Us's.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Let me tell you. We should get
How's it going?
We should get Evil Robot Us's of YHS and have them do an episode.
That's funny. Wait, we should get John to draw like robots.
It'd be easier to draw one than to make an actual
that
robot.
are like the Bogus Journey robot us.
Let me tell you guys how much I liked Bogus Journey as a kid. The scene where they fall to hell and then they play 21 what do they play? 21 Questions?
Yeah.
I almost said 21. They played 21 Jump Street.
Yeah.
When I was a kid on the playground after seeing Bogus Journey for 2 years straight, I would find the highest point of like you go up a play set, top of a swing set, and I would reenact that scene and jump off.
Oh, that explains a lot.
I didn't land on my head, and I would like recite. I'd be like, ah! I would stand there, and go, ah!
Yeah.
Then I would stop. I would do the
And
whole
then
thing,
jump.
and then jump by myself. That's how you play Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey on the playground. So there you go. Love Bill and Ted 2. Real quick, I'm not going to go super deep into this one, but I wanted to mention it while we're here. We talked a lot about comedy sequels last week. And how they often don't work. I've got 2 comedy sequels on my list. Abby, Jake, feel free to comment on them. Wayne's World 2 and
Love
Clerks
Wayne's World.
2.
Okay.
Wayne's World 2, I agree with for sure.
All right. Tell me
It has
why.
the same charm and wit and the dynamics between Dana Carvey and Mike Myers are like still there in that movie. It's amazing.
Yeah, I just love Wayne's World 2. They didn't repeat the plot of the first movie. There's so many great gags. There's the whole weird naked Indian. There's the YMCA scene. There's
Jurassic Park.
There's the Jurassic Park
gag.
scene. And I think we talked about Wayne's World 2 on the podcast fairly recently.
Not that long ago, yeah. It's great.
Clerks 2,
I thought... Go ahead.
It just shouldn't have worked. And it's good. I like Clerks 2.
When's the last time you watched Clerks 2?
In the last couple of years.
Okay.
Is it not good? I think it's good.
I mean, it's good. To me, it's like, it's right when, it was like right before Kevin Smith started to make really bad movies. And
Okay.
you can like see it coming in Clerks 2. I think Clerks 2 is better than, his last, 5 or 6 movies or whatever.
Okay.
But I think you can like watch Clerks 2 and be like,
Maybe it's okay. Maybe it shouldn't be best sequel list. Like
saying that movie holds up to Clerks is kind of wild. But
I guess I'll return my signed Clerks 2 Rosario Dawson.
Own
DVD.
it. Do whatever you want. I thought you were going to say Ace Ventura 2, talking about comedy movies.
Yeah,
I
rules.
put that on my list.
That movie's great.
All right, Jacob, go for it.
If I was saying this is my number one, by the way, all horror movies on this list almost. Like I do have Bill and Ted
I got
on.
some horror movies.
I have Bill and Ted on here and a couple of like randoms that we'll talk about, but legitimate good movie, as good as the original, does something completely different. The series has been going on for 8 or 9 movies. They're all the same. They're becoming ridiculous. And then Wes Craven makes New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's on my list.
That movie is amazing. It is so good. It was ahead of its time. It was like his blueprints for Scream. Freddy Krueger is maybe scarier in that than he is in the original. It's super weird. It's back before like meta stuff was all over the place. And that movie it's amazing. That movie is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree. We've talked about it if you go back in our old
Mhm.
episodes.
I love New Nightmare for all the reasons you just said. I mean, it's got a really, I mean, after, once you're 5 or 6 movies in, you kind of, and Freddy had become a little bit of a parody and he's more of a wisecracker. Dude, that duster, Freddy wearing a long coat.
Yeah.
Whew, I love that.
And he's now the other thing is like the sweater's a turtleneck in. It's like, wait, why is the sweater
a little more fashionable?
Yeah.
It's a great sequel.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
It is cool. Agree. And it's actually like the thought, like pretty genius of Wes Craven to be like, well, we're going to make another one, but it's like takes place in the real world and all the actors are playing themselves. Like, that's kind of like, I'm surprised more movies, like, how like after Groundhog Day came out, like every 7 or 8 years, there's like, oh, it's like a comedy love story, but it's like the Groundhog Day thing, or it's like the Tom Cruise Groundhog Day. I'm surprised there's not more series that have done the Wes Craven. It's like a New Nightmare version of Scream or whatever. unless that's what Scream 7's about to be. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Only hope.
Whose turn is it? Mine?
Abby's.
Or Abby's.
It's me. Yeah, and I saw in the chat, let's see, Toys R Us mentioned it, and so did Mr. Michael T. Austin Powers 2 is on my list, even though it wasn't officially on my list. I have to put it on there because I loved that movie. I loved Heather Graham in it. I'm a sucker for Mike Myers, obviously. So that was one of my favorite sequels, and I used to watch that in tandem with the next sequel that I'm going to talk about when I would go to my friend's house growing up in like 8th grade because she had like a much broader VHS selection than I did in my house. And it was at her house that I saw this for the first time, and I have it, a Very Brady sequel. This movie is ridiculously funny. It brings me so much happiness. It goes right to my funny bone. It's the way that sequels should be, in that it's like over the top, ridiculous. But I think the sentiment of the Brady Bunch movies is like being yourself, even though the world's changing around you. And there's something about that I always like gravitated towards. But more than anything, it's just hilarious. Fantastic cast, and they go to Hawaii in it, and it's hilarious. And George Glass is in there, and Shirt Jan. It's just got a ton of great moments. And that's why I'm wearing this Hawaiian themed shirt. And yeah, I take the Brady Bunch movies very seriously in that I watch them probably like 6 or more times a year. If I'm having a rough day,
I would say you watch them 6 or more times a month.
Yeah,
they're always on.
Heavy. I know this might sound like, well, whatever, but I literally love these movies. There's like a couple who wrote wrote the Brady Bunch movies, and Wayne's World, I think. Like, it was a couple who wrote together.
Yeah, you're talking about Bonnie and Terry Taylor.
Yeah,
they were SNL writers, and the crazy thing about Bonnie and Terry Taylor is that they wrote the first crazy thing is that they're from Stockbridge, Georgia, which is where I grew up. And besides Collective Soul and myself, hasn't produced much else.
Collective Soul,
besides Bonnie and Terry Turner, not Taylor. They created Third Rock from the Sun and that 70s show,
which also has that same sentiment of like being fish out of water, but embracing it, and that being the hilarity of the show.
They wrote Coneheads, Wayne's World, Wayne's World 2, Tommy Boy, and the Brady Bunch movie in like a 6-year
and Tommy Boy's
period.
on my list too. Yeah.
So Tommy Boy
is not a sequel.
Tommy Boy's on my list of just favorite movies. Sorry, I know.
I've never seen either one of those movies.
Dude, let's watch them. Like, we should watch them together at some point soon.
The good thing about the Brady Bunch
solid, funny movies.
You don't have to really have any frame of reference for the show to enjoy.
Well, that's why I never watched it, because when it came out, I was like, I don't give a fuck about the Brady Bunch. I've never seen, I was just like, that's not for me, so I never watched it. I didn't even realize that it was written by a guy who wrote all this.
Right on.
Well, the Brady Bunch, they're very much like Wayne's World. They're very tongue in cheek and like kind of like So they're cool.
But yeah, I did grow up watching the Brady Bunch like on TBS a lot. So I did have a huge frame of reference.
I had a huge crush on Marsha Brady growing up, and
me too.
And mainly from the movie, who is played by Christine Taylor. She's been in a lot of movies, including. Isn't she married to Ben Stiller? She's in a lot of Ben Stiller. She's in Zoolander and Dodgeball and all those. So okay, I got a couple more. First of all, we're not going to go deep on this. We could save it for another day, but Empire Strikes Back is one of the great sequels of all time. It just is. It's my third favorite of the original trilogy, which I think some people think is a pretty...
I mean, Return of the Jedi is a sequel, and it's one of the best movies of all time.
I love Return of the Jedi. It's
I didn't put any Star Wars on my list just because, like, there's so much
thing.
I was like Star Wars, Aliens, like we know.
Yeah,
Marvel.
And I did it last week, and I got myself all sad, so I didn't want to this week.
Well, I noticed something with Jacob this week. I didn't want to bring it up in front of him, so let's pretend like he's not here. I knew this was going to happen. The second Jacob started watching Andor, all of a sudden, he's calling me to talk about Star Wars. He's drawing Yoda.
Yeah, dude. Show's good.
I mean, I like Star Wars. I just
You
like there's a
love
lot
it.
of it, and some of it's bad, and some of it puts me in a mood sometimes. But yeah, Andor. I've only watched 4 episodes of Andor. I'll go ahead and say it, but yeah, it's great.
It's great. Okay. How about what we? Oh, and Evil Dead 2 we haven't talked about yet.
That's on my list.
That's
That's on your
100%
list?
on my list. Yeah.
I mean, Evil Dead 2 is. I think Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness are both great sequels,
right.
but I think Evil Dead 2 is my favorite of the 3. That is such a good movie.
Let me get this out of the way. This is an important one for me. This is one of my favorite movies of all times. It is a sequel, and I find it to be better than the first movie. And another hot take is I find the first movie in this trilogy to be my least favorite of the 3. That movie is The Dark Knight. Wait, Batman Begins is the movie I was just talking about. My favorite sequel is The Dark Knight. I don't like the way that I said any of that. Let me start over. The Dark Knight is on my list. There you go.
I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with you that The Dark Knight is the standout of the trilogy.
Okay.
Don't you think so?
100%. I think a lot of people, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
My controversial Christopher Nolan Batman opinion is how much I love Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we won't talk about that tonight. We'll talk about Dark Knight.
I have a Batman movie on my list. It ain't that one.
Oh shit. Okay, so you're the one who has the Flash on your list. Cool. I love The Dark Knight. I love Heath Ledger. I love Aaron Eckhart. I thought what Christopher Nolan did in that movie, the way that it stays grounded. I know there's Batman fans. Some of them are on toy anxiety who will argue that Christopher Nolan was ashamed of his source material and didn't make the Batman movies we deserved. But I think the opening of The Dark Knight, specifically that IMAX shot, the bank robbing scene, the just the whole thing, the way the execution of it, the framing of it, the action, I love it. And yeah, I just love The Dark Knight. I've talked about it.
It's a really good movie.
Much. Yeah,
it's a very good movie.
And it's also kind of fun to just be like Rachel. Like I like doing that. You know, I like doing that. And we can debate till the sun comes home the differences between Katie Holmes and Maggie Gyllenhaal. But you know what? Maggie Gyllenhaal showed up. Okay,
I like her. Yeah. She's the love interest that showed up.
She's the one who showed up.
Not for long.
Not for long. Yeah. There was a choice. And I don't know. I just remember sitting in the theater in the midnight showing, seeing the Joker in that nurse's costume walking down the street and blowing up that hospital and being like, not realizing that it was like in 2 weeks we were going to be like, oh God, the Joker is affecting the worst people in society. And Dragon Con that year was a fucking nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
But
that was right. That movie came out right before the Joker became very annoying.
Yeah.
It was still like cool to be like, fuck yeah, the Joker's in it. Now it's like, oh, the Joker's in it.
Yeah, great. So yeah, I love The Dark Knight. I love Christopher Nolan. I like most of his movies. So that is on my list.
Oh yeah.
What else?
I put Batman Returns on my list, and I
knew it.
I don't necessarily think Batman Returns is better than 89, but sort of like Ghostbusters 2, I have very vivid memories of Batman Returns coming out and being very into it and really liking the Penguin and like buying all the toys. I remember going into stores and like wanting all of the Batman Returns stuff. Like that was when I was the biggest into Batman was Batman Returns. So I put that on the list. I think that's a very fun movie. I love it. But yeah, I don't know if I'd say it was better than.
I don't. There's pieces of Batman Returns that I like. I think Danny DeVito is great. I think Michelle Pfeiffer is great. It's not a movie I ever like think about watching. I don't know why. It never.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love Batman 89 so much.
Right.
But Abby, did you have any other honorable mentions?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. I've seen that mentioned in the comments, and I wanted to say I agree. Like, I know that's the National Lampoon's movie that I consider to be like my family cast, and I watch that every single Christmas. Love the theme song, and yeah, I think it's a redeeming movie. I think it's funny and honest, and it's a great sequel. Yeah.
Cool. Well, there's been a lot of good ones tonight. This is good.
Just a couple. I did put as like an honorable mention. I put Adam's Family Values on here. I think that movie's very fun. What else? Two that I have to mention. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 is very fun. I mean, that first movie it's clearly a masterpiece, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is really silly. It came out in the 80s. It's like really gory and dumb, and it's like funny, and it's got like all these other really weird characters in it. Dennis Hopper is in it, and he's like kind of insane, but he's like the good guy. Texas Chainsaw 2 has the best like look for Leatherface. He looks really cool in it. It's just like a weird, fun 80. Like you can really feel when that movie came out. So I wanted to put that on here. And then the only other movie none of us have talked about, I've seen it in the chat, but Gremlins 2 is
yes. Damn it, you're right.
Is so good. Like
Watched
again, I don't know if I want to say it's better than the first Gremlins, but I probably watch Gremlins 2 more often than I'm watching the first Gremlins.
Yeah, they just did something so different with it, like different setting. It's in first of all, anytime they're like, well, this one's just in a building, like remember that last Evil Dead movie? I was like, oh, they're in a building. This could be good.
In a building now.
How are they going to get out? Like I get really excited about that.
Yeah.
Gremlins 2 is awesome. I have some others on my list. Like I have Spider-Man 2 on my list, which I don't know, but it's like I still think I maybe like the first Tobey Maguire movie more than the second one. I know that's not always the take.
I think the second one's the better one, but I didn't put any superhero movies other than Batman, I think, on the list. Just because like it's weird when you start talking about there's so many hard. And there's so many Spider-Man movies. There are so many Marvel movies that I was like, I don't want to get into it. I'm gonna leave them off my list. But I do think Spider-Man 2 is better than the first one.
Before we leave tonight, because we're almost done.
Okay.
We have to talk about this movie, which is, and I know you mentioned it earlier, Jacob, but it's Aliens. We should talk about it for a second.
Okay.
The general thought process, it seems that many people consider Aliens to be somehow a superior sequel to Alien.
I think it's half and half.
I just have never understood. I find Alien to be one of the great sci-fi movies of all. I think Aliens is really fun, but
I can tell you exactly why.
All right, educate us, please.
First of all, if somebody tells me they think Aliens is better than Alien, I usually just say, okay, yeah. I think it's a really great movie, you know? Like I think that's the wrong take, but I think they're both so good that it's not like a fight or, you know, it's like, yeah, I get it. Aliens is cool. But Alien is a horror movie. And I think people who tend to lean towards horror are going to like Alien better.
Yeah.
And the people who wish they were in the military or like guns are going to, they're going to lean towards Aliens. Like Aliens, like the thing that a lot of the people like is like, they like the Marines and they like the big guns and they like shooting stuff. And that is a little boring to me. And I think it makes the aliens less scary. I think the aliens don't look as good in Aliens, but then again, it's like, it's a really good story. It's very different. It introduces the Queen, which is like a really awesome, you know, thing. So like, I do think it's a great movie, but like, if I'm going to watch an alien movie, I want the scary one. And Aliens there's nothing scary about people just shooting aliens. You know what I mean? And the aliens just explode. Like, that's not scary. That's that takes people liking guns and shooting, and that's just not for me. So I get it. The cast, yeah, someone's saying the cast, like there's both films have an amazing cast. There's some really cool, like the scene where Newt and Ripley are they put the face hugger in with the two of them and they're trying to get out.
Yeah.
That scene's amazing.
Rolls.
Good stuff. I just think the first one's better.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
It's more. I think it's a masterpiece. Like it's perfect.
Yeah.
The first one.
The
second one. Yeah. If you love sci-fi and action and shoot 'em up stuff, then yeah, that's for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Bill
hold
Paxton.
the first one in higher regard.
Okay. I think we've covered some ground here. This is good. I think this is a good discussion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to know. We've had a lot of really good thoughts coming in the chat. I was trying to think of like modern sequels. I mean, well, I would consider. I mean, I'm gonna put Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's fucking great. Frozen Empire. I love all that shit. But you know, I think it's we talked about this. Will we ever get another good Terminator movie? Maybe not. Might not happen.
I mean, maybe.
You never know.
Maybe, but I think it's gonna take somebody. Just somebody random who's gonna have a good idea. Did either one of you watch that? There's like a Terminator cartoon on Netflix that came out very recently.
Oh,
and
animated?
Yeah, it's like an animated. And
Okay.
I remember thinking the trailer looked cool, but I was like, I don't even know if I can make myself watch this.
Right.
So
I've got a list here of upcoming sequels over the next year or two. I'm just going to go through some of them, and let's just give a thumbs up, thumbs down on whether or not we think this could eventually make our best sequels.
Okay.
List. All right.
Okay.
And I'm going to skip the Avatar movies because
no one's even mentioned The Way of Water.
Hey,
exactly.
I did see Zack Snyder came out and said that that movie he made from Netflix, they made Rebel Moon 1 and 2. They said it's dead. They're not getting to make the third one or any of the other. It's just done.
Happy Gilmore 2. It's not going to be good. Godzilla Kong Supernova.
I talk about this for hours at a time with Jay Key on Monster Island. I think the American, the MonsterVerse films, they get a little worse with each one that comes out, but we're changing directors for Supernova. So they're switching it up a little bit. The last two have been the same guy, and I like that guy, but
Sam Neill's in it.
Sam Neill is in it, and I think it changes what those movies need. So I'm hoping that they start tracking back up, but the last one was really bad.
Megan 2.0.
Yes. I'm looking forward to adding that to my list.
Hey, Abby, there are rumors. There are rumors that there might be a Megan house at Horror Nights this year.
Shut the fuck up, dude! I want a Megan.
Rumor, but
I want a Megan companion movie where like the girl from Companion is like friends with Megan and kind of showing her like how to be an adult. And
I think there should be more movies about like AI girlfriends. Let's just do it.
There's a couple out there.
Karate Kid Legends comes out in a couple weeks. I will be there opening weekend. Will it be good? Probably not.
Not a Karate Kid person.
Naked Gun reboot / sequel.
Maybe.
Looks fun. Could
Looks
be
like
good.
it could be
trailer,
fun.
I don't love the open, but it has a really funny bit in it with like everyone at the academy like looking at pictures of their father on the wall. So I'm excited to see it. We'll see what happens.
Tron Ares.
Yeah,
that might be good.
Yeah.
The Tron movies are pretty good.
Tron Legacy's good. Tron, the original, I watched it recently for the first time and absolutely loved it. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped on it. Haven't watched the animated series, but I know it exists.
And I'm gonna end tonight with a little rant. Jurassic Park Rebirth trailer tomorrow. I'm going to end with a rant. This is gonna be like 30 seconds. There's a movie that should have got a sequel a long time ago, and it never did. And it's a damn not even a travesty. I'm going to call it a tragedy. Okay. This is an important movie in my personal film canon. It's a movie we all love. It's a movie that has IP written all over it And that movie is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Now, would a sequel be good? Maybe, maybe not. Has it probably been too long? Yes. Do we want to hand the keys to Roger Rabbit back to Robert Zemeckis in 2025 and have him try to do a sequel? No, we really don't. But that's a movie that should have got a sequel. And in a world where they're right now working on Beetlejuice 3, Gremlins 3, and Goonies 2, where's my damn Roger Rabbit? Give me that.
That is kind of a... Well, I wonder if there's probably articles out there about why that didn't happen. But I wonder if it was just too much of a pain in the butt to get the rights to, there's like Disney characters, there's, Mickey Mouse is on screen. And, I remember reading stuff about how some characters had to have a certain amount of screen time. And,
there's
so
weird
like,
stuff.
I wonder if like all of that was just like an annoying thing. I don't know. I read the book that movie is based on a couple years ago and really enjoyed the book. More than it was great. Yeah.
Here's what you do. Well, first of all, Abby, do you think Roger Rabbit's getting a sequel ever?
I don't think it is, but it would be nice if it did. For your sake, I know you've talked about it. It's not on my
We're worried
list.
We're worried about Craig. They haven't announced Roger Rabbit 2 yet, and you know how he is.
Well, here's the crossover.
If they don't make a Roger Rabbit 2, I'm really worried about what's going to happen.
Here's the deal. Here's what they should do. There's another movie there's a book sequel, but it never got a movie sequel that people wanted for a long time. I think you combine them. Okay. Imagine a movie where Roger Rabbit meets up with Forrest Gump. I'm just putting it out there. No, I'm just kidding. That's really stupid. Nobody wants that. Now I'm actually thinking about it. Forrest Gump meets Roger Rabbit.
What were you actually gonna? Did you have a real one?
No, that's really what I was going to say.
I would
whole
say
thing was a joke.
A sequel to Coneheads and a sequel to What About Bob. I would be in for both.
Well, we talked about
Coneheads. I would love a Conehead sequel.
Yeah,
I think Dan Aykroyd
leading the show.
Yeah.
He wants a Conehead sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, in the Roger Rabbit book, it's like more adult, and the whole thing that's happening is what's her name? Jessica Rabbit is like she was in like porn cartoons and wants to like leave it behind. Okay. And there's a genie in the whole reason she likes Roger Rabbit in the book is because he wished it on a genie. It's so weird. The book is so crazy. It's very cool, but it is very different.
Okay.
Well, I heard they were.
You should read it. It's great.
Actually, maybe there's a cut subplot from the movie because it really makes no sense that Jessica Rabbit's that into Roger.
Yeah.
Patty cake. Okay. Well, this was fun, guys. I like these discussions. If you guys have any other sequels you want to see us talk about, put them in the chat. Put them in the comments.
Put them in the shoe line.
Put them in the shoe line. If you guys want more content from Yes Have Some podcast, we do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Yes Have Some, where you can get 3 to 4 bonus episodes a month on the audio feed. We do them live.
We've had 2 go out this month, right? 2 or 3, and then we're doing another one tomorrow.
There's a video version. We usually do it after excuse me, Toy Anxiety.
It's we should be clear. It is a part of Toy Anxiety, and it's called Toy Anxiety Extreme, but it is rarely about toys. It is last week we talked about high school. So
it was good.
Yeah. As Jason Grosky pointed out, Toy Anxiety is the great sequel to YHS. And then Extreme is a great threequel to it all. Yeah. So check it out.
So you can get involved with all that and exclusive access to the Discord. Mm-hmm. At patreon.com/.
It really helps YHS out.
Helps us out.
It really does.
Abby, can you?
We're trying to quit those jobs, dude.
Yeah, honestly, work is hard. Life is tough. We love doing this. I do personally. It brings me a lot of happiness. And creating this community is like the most important thing that I think we've done. So yeah, if you are a part of this community or want to become more of a tight-knit part, sign up for Patreon. It's $5 a month, and you get a ton of access to bonus episodes, Discord, private Patreon, Instagram, etc.
Mm-hmm. We should Go ahead. Literally what I was about to say. You got it, Greg. Go ahead.
Okay, so Michael T was asking, Mr. Michael T was, are we going to be doing bonus streams for trailer drops? So the short answer is expect more trailer reactions and that type of content from YHS. Now, I'll just be completely, I haven't even talked about this with Jacob yet or Abby. There's 2 big trailers dropping tomorrow. There's Jurassic World.
About this yesterday. Yeah.
I know. There's another part to it I haven't got to yet. There's the
Let's just have a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Tomorrow is the Jurassic World Rebirth trailer number 2 and the first teaser trailer for the It prequel series, Welcome to Derry. Or is what was my typo today, Jacob?
Welcome to something. I don't know what.
It was like welcome to science or something.
Sweets or something.
Welcome to
Sweets. And
I was like, dude,
what?
Welcome to Sweets trailer.
I was like, what movie? I googled it. I was like, what movie is Welcome to Sweets?
Yeah.
It's it's like a Death of Smoochie sequel. You hear about it?
Dude, that movie's amazing.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I would love to do more trailer reactions and that kind of stuff. The loose plan is to do videos for both of those tomorrow. I have a very weirdly packed schedule tomorrow. So what I'll say for tomorrow is look out for content. It might turn into a bonus stream tomorrow evening covering both. My preference would be to do it early in the day, right when that stuff drops, but
we don't know what time those are coming out.
We still don't know.
We don't.
So if Jurassic World drops at like 8 a.m., I could totally do it, but I have to be in person doing work tomorrow. So, but we'll talk about that offline. Nothing for you guys to worry about.
But what we are saying is there will be a video at some time tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
For Jurassic World and for Welcome to Derry. They might be 2 separate videos. They might be lumped together as one. But
it might just be Jacob and I if Craig can't.
But it will come out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Abby, what is your? I know none of us really know much about Welcome to Derry. Are you guys anticipating that show? Is that something you're excited about?
I mean, it kind of fell off my radar until you're mentioning it now. But we have been talking about Stephen King, and I am a huge Stephen King fan, so I'm interested in it. And having read it, I know that there's a ton of history of Derry in there. I'll just be intrigued to see like what the tone is and what like how much it feels like Stephen King's writing, because that's very important. How good the characters are, etc. So we'll get a taste of it in the trailer tomorrow. Yeah. And I think I'll be able to kind of get a feel for things.
Yeah.
I at first did not like the idea of Welcome to Derry. There's a lot of stuff in the book. I just thought, why make stuff up when there's a 1,400 page book that's literally the best book I've ever read in my life? Why do we need, just do that? Just do the book. But an article came out not that long, maybe a couple months ago. They released a couple photos, and they specifically said in the article, we are doing the black spot and we are doing the interludes from the book. And I said, my attitude completely turned around. I said, if they're actually going to be adapting the interludes and the black spot, those are some of the craziest things from one of my favorite parts of it is something that happens during the black spot scene. And I hope it's in the movie, or I hope it's in the show. I hope they do it. So now I'm anticipating. I'm excited about it now. Sure. I hope. Yeah.
Invested. Cool. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy because it's almost been 10 years since those movies came out, which is insane.
Has it?
It's been 8 years. It's been 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're not kids anymore.
They're not. Bill Hader. Remember that?
Yeah.
I've only seen the second It once. Should I rewatch it?
Yeah, 100% you should. I watched them both recently.
Okay. Well, I think it's cool that Andy Muschietti's doing it and it's connected to that universe. I love the expansion of the universe. I'm glad they're not starting over, like a new reimagining of let's do it. So yeah, look out for that tomorrow, as well as a new episode of Toy Anxiety, as well as a bonus episode. Fuck, we're doing too much. And then hopefully we'll have some really cool announcements for Ghostbusters Day. Working on some stuff behind the scenes. If you trust me, you'll know it if we announce it, because we'll be annoying about it.
Yeah.
That's what we do. But until then, this was fun. Thank you guys for being here. Jacob, I'll give you the final word. Anything else?
Hey, just if you haven't seen any of these sequels that we talked about, write them down. I think everybody who's listening, make a Letterboxd account.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yeah.
You can pay if you want some of the upgraded features. It's a free app. I use it a lot. I really love it. I watched and reviewed the Liver King documentary yesterday. You can go on there and see what I had to say about it. Wasn't nice. And listen, just watch more movies. Craig, I'm talking to you too here. Watch more movies that you haven't seen before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, dude.
We watched I watched a compilation of alligator encounters on golf courses.
That's okay.
Yeah, it was
Very
like
cool.
animals invading.
I'm annoyed you didn't
courses.
send that to me.
It was
They're
fun.
all fun. They're all fun and cute. Like nothing crazy.
Oh, okay.
No one dies. There's no golfer that gets
fuck it.
murdered.
There's one where like a turtle comes out onto like the last hole or whatever, and like just starts running towards the ball, and like someone has to come in and move him, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Okay, cool.
It was cool. All right, everybody. For Abigail Gardner,
Highly
Jacob
motivated
Walsh.
turtle. Speaking
What?
of Stephen King, I said highly motivated turtle,
Mhm.
and then I said speaking of Stephen King.
There
If
you
you are an
go.
It fan, you won't get it.
There you go. Okay. All right. To
Mhm.
all the readers out, for all the losers club.
Constant readers.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. We'll see you next week. And I'm just gonna hard out it. Bye.
Bye.